Well, happy summer. I am on complete summer mode now, and I need to cut my hair today. So it's always nice to save money and be able to cut your own hair, especially when you have, when you have vacation or activities and you just do not want to deal with doing your hair every day, but you want it to look presentable. I did cut my hair recently, but I feel like it's just getting to that kind of point where it's that in between, out of control. So let's cut it today. So we're wetting it down, combing it through, and then I'm going to use my fine tooth comb because I don't know, it separates it a little bit more. Okay. So the first thing I have figured out with my very thin hair, I talk about it all the time, I'm sure. If you have watched my videos, you're like, yes, we know, we get it, you have thin hair. But I have figured out bangs pretty much work for me because all one length hair would be super convenient, but yeah, bangs work. What are you gonna do? So they look quite long. I'm gonna have to use a double mirror here because that lens is a little hard to see. So I think what I usually like to do is divide my hair. So we're gonna go a lot shorter today. This almost looks like it could grow out to a bob again. So I'm gonna divide it right from the top point of my ear. So let's do that. I'm gonna divide that, comb this part back. Yeah, and it's funny because I look at it like, I love going to a salon, don't get me wrong, and if you have a good stylist, getting your hair done is fun and it makes you look good, but it's fun to cut your own hair, it is. And if you're nervous, hair grows back. If you make a mistake, hair grows back, right? Let's divide this side. Also, I figured with all the visits to the salon I did not do this past whole prior year, that I said this in my last video. Now I can use that money in my mind and take a vacation, right? Because it's important when you go to a salon that you tip well. So I usually, when I get out of a salon, because you want to buy the products too, I don't know, I make a whole thing out of it, and you end up $200, $300 out per visit. Anyway, but okay, so I think that's pretty much all for it. Now, what I like to do, and the other tip I found with going short, don't cut your bangs a little longer than you think you're going to do, because when they dry, they shrink, and you don't want to end up regretting it. Wow, my bangs are pretty long right now. That is surprising. So I'm going to go, let's just see here. Just going to go across here and get a little closer to the lens so you can kind of see what we're doing here. So I'm looking in my other mirror. That will be helpful. I like to have an angle so it is framing my face. So I'm going to leave this piece alone for now because I'm not going to rush through this. So I'm just cutting at an angle, cutting all those pieces. And I'm kind of going to the mid part of my eyeball. That's kind of where I'm going because I figure when it shrinks, if it shrinks up to my eyebrows, that's fine. So to the mid, I'm measuring about to the midpoint of my eyeball. Midpoint. And maybe even like a tiny bit longer because I can always come back. I'm kind of doing a point cut right now instead of going straight across. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I just think it makes that look a little bit more piecey and natural. Okay, so we see the difference in length. On this side again, get the comb, recomb this. Because that's how I blow dry my hair. I blow all this front section forward. So that's the way I'm going to cut it. I'm going to skip this for a second. Coming up here. Okay, that's already short right there. Interesting. Don't know why. And the layer of the eyeball right there. Or I mean the measurement. And then right here. So notice I kind of went in point cutting this direction and then I went this direction. Okay, so there's that. Now let's work on the sides. Oh, I should have grabbed my blow dryer, darn it. I'll have to get up and go get that. Okay, so before I put in any layers into this, again, I'm just getting the longest line. And now I don't want this too short. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna angle it towards the face. This one I'm not point cutting, I'm just kind of getting the line, and then I go in and point cut. Like that. And then I'll kind of go in and point cut a little bit like this, just again to get some more piecey layers. Just like this. I'm just pointing the scissors right into the hair, just taking little tiny sections out so it'll look more piecey. Okay, like that. It's hard to see, but it is happening. Like, you won't be able to really see it, but when you blow dry, you'll be able to see it. Okay, and then I was looking, and I might go a little bit, if I go shorter. See, that's the thing. When I blow dry my hair, it ends up looking like puppy ears, like it just sticks out like that. So the only way to fix that, I'm going to probably have to go a little bit shorter, which again, I'm not worried. It's the summer. I mean, it'll grow back. But again, I have to make sure I'm not pulling from behind the ear, just in front of the ear, because, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to go a little bit shorter now. We're going to wet this down a little bit more. Again, I'm not going to rush through it because that's when mistakes happen. And it's easier to cut too when it's wet, because then I can just cut a piece. Okay, on this one I'm going to really go short now. Eek, here we go. Well, you probably already think my hair is already really short. Oh well. Now that one I'm kind of going in an upwards direction. Okay, I like that. Should I keep these longer? Kind of want to. I kind of like it when it's a little bit longer in the front and shorter there. Okay, so I'll keep this piece like this. Now, let's do the other side to kind of match it. Take a sip of coffee. Okay, now we're going to comb out this side. Make sure it's in the stuff in front of the ear and not behind the ear. Because if you cut stuff from behind the ear this way, it just sticks straight out. We'll get to that in a second. Now this side's much shorter, about probably coming to my earlobe right there. So when I do this side, save this for the end. I'm gonna go, let me see, where did I come here? I'm about at the upper cheekbone, and it's a little bit longer up there. Okay, so same thing, upper cheekbone. So I'm gonna take out a lot right there. Leave a little longer here for some reason. I don't know. I'm gonna go in and point cut because I feel like it's a little, no, that's not even. So we'll fix that here in just a second. We're gonna fix that right now. There we go. Use our comb. I have a lot of moisturizer on right now, so my hair is just like sticking to my skin. Okay, now, is it even? We can measure. Yeah, now I gotta go in and point cut this because it looks way too blunt and choppy. And then, earlobe piece, we're gonna do this one next. Here we go. Earlobe piece is gonna go about right to there. That should be right. Yep. Okay, let's go in and point cut this. Maybe wet it again. Because that looks way too blunt, right? See this side. Just a little point cutting in there. There. Okay. See? Then it looks a little bit more piecey. But I still want thickness around here. Again, I don't want to go crazy with point cutting or thinning because my hair's already thin. So, and you know, once it's styled, if it bugs the heck out of me, I can always go in and do more of that. Okay, now, for now, okay, let's get the back now. This is kind of the tricky part that most people say, how do you get the back of your hair? Yeah, I know. It's a hot mess. I'm not saying I'm perfect at getting the back of my hair. But, okay. So now we have the back of our hair, and I just grab it in pieces like this. See if it's already short enough. It might be. But I want it a little shorter in the back than it is in the front, is the whole point. So I'm just going to pull this out. And again, I am just going to go for it, straight up. So I took about that much that's trapped in my fingers. So I don't know. I got my towel on the ground, so I'm just letting it go on the ground. And then you can kind of feel the difference with your fingers. Like as I pull it through, I can feel like, oh, I got some long pieces here. Again, just going, and I just go straight up, but at a little bit of an angle to keep some of the length. Let's do this side now. Oh, this side's so much longer. Wow. Okay. There. And then I just kind of go through my hair and I feel it to see if it feels about the same length on each side as I pull it out. And I'm not going to lie, like if I'm styling it, I'm going to go a little shorter here. If I'm styling it this summer, and if I think, oh God, it's just such a mess, what did I do? Then I'll just go and get a haircut, you know? I think I'm going to make this a lot shorter right here, because this is what I don't like, when it dries and it sticks out like that. That doesn't look good. Especially, again, I want to be able to blow dry my hair, put a product in it, so I could tuck it behind my ear there, but then it's still kind of sticking out. I'm not going to go too crazy. Maybe I'll just cut it like this much. There. That way when I put product in it, hopefully it'll stick down more. Let's do that on this side. Make sure it's the stuff behind my ear. You know, I'm just not making it that serious. I guess that is the nice thing about thin hair. Like, you can cut it, but I mean, if you make a mistake, it's like you didn't cut a lot of hair. I don't know. But thin hair also shows everything. Okay. I think that's that. All right, now I'm going to go and get the top part. So I'm combing all this stuff from the back. I'm going to feel how, I'm just doing this by feel, honestly. Feeling these lower pieces. Actually, let me turn around like this for a second to see what's happening. Okay, yeah. I might have to really go after these. Okay, the top is way too long. So I'm combing the back, the very back part. We're going to wet it for a second. And then I'm going to comb it straight up just so I can see what the heck's going on. Okay, that's a lot of hair. So I'm going to get rid of all that. And then I'm going to point cut it. That was a lot. Okay, I'm going to get that again, that section. And then I'm just going to bring my fingers down and then at an angle. Just going to go through and point cut. Just get random pieces just so it just looks a little bit more blended in there. Okay, now we want to put just I might not even need layers because I know way up here it gets a little bit shorter. Again, you want to ensure, if you're thin-haired like me or whatever, that you still have enough bang coverage when you're lifting to do some layers. So I'm going to lift here now. And I mean, I will repeat that I am not a professional hair cutter or hairstylist. I do this for fun on myself. It doesn't always turn out right. Because I kind of want I want the top to be a little bit where it can be a little bit like, I don't know, if I want to make it, you know, spiky or up, something like that, then I can do that. Or if I want it all down like this and smooth, I can do that too. So that's why I'm taking each side and I'm cutting a big portion off. Oops, that one I got a long piece I missed. And it's funny, when I do this, yeah, I think I got it that time. Now I just mess it up and then I go through and see where I need some more layers, possibly. And then I can tell that I'm going to need to I don't mind that. Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm just going through to see if anything's too thick and I need to point cut it a little bit better. Maybe right here. Yeah, not make that look so chunky. See, just like that. That was better. And see the layers there. Let's see how the lengthwise of all those layers, just anything's too sticking out too long. Yeah, I've got a couple long areas there. I'm just gonna get rid of those. I don't know, I might not get rid of those because sometimes when I have a couple long pieces, it just adds to the kind of the messy look that I'm gonna be creating here. I think on the bottom, I'm just going to take off a little bit more because now it's looking just a little bit too long based on what I did in the front. And again, I'm just pulling it out straight and I go in and I just go straight down. So you get kind of a little spiky look there. And I'm doing the middle section. I'm doing this by feel, and that's why I'm not showing you because I can't see it either. I'm just going by guiding of what my fingers are doing. There. Okay, it feels right. That's the nice thing. Okay, so now we're gonna spritz it down again. And so we're gonna get ready to blow dry this. And that way, okay, it's all kind of wet down again. All right, let me just grab my blow dryer. It's right here. Give me 2 seconds. We're just gonna plug it in. This is so you can just see, like, because my whole goal is to be able to do my hair this summer and on vacation without a lot of styling tools and products. So get ready for the sound. What happened? Okay, and then we're gonna put a couple styling products in it, but before we do that, I just wanna comb it through, make sure there's nothing that's unusually long. Again, I'm gonna have, see, now that looks weird. So we're gonna take care of that just like this. That looks better. And then these little rogue hairs sticking out. I'm gonna have to trim the back of my hair looking in the mirror in the other room, but I'll do that shortly. But anyway, so what I just did, obviously you saw I trimmed those long pieces, and then there's a long piece in the back, but I'm gonna have to go, well, I'm gonna see if I can do it right here. I might be able to. See that, how there's that long piece? Not loving that. Okay, let's get that right now. We're gonna get that long piece right there. I don't want it perfect, so I'm just kind of going for it because again, this hairstyle I'm creating is like an imperfect style. So here now I'm gonna just point cut to try to get some of that length off. Now again, I can't see everything from right here, so, you know, and then as days go on and whatnot, sometimes I just have to fix stuff as I style my hair, and that's okay too. I get that's part of the deal. Okay, we're gonna get that section right there. And because I just want it to look very piecey, so when I put product in it, it just looks a little like that. And then I'll clear all that off. What is that? Is that my hair? Yep, that's a little, that's a little piece of hair, I believe, right there. Let's get that. Okay. Eek. Okay. So now I just see what the bang length looks like. I want it just long enough, not short enough where I'm like, I cannot stand when I have super short bangs, but long enough where I can see and it doesn't drive me crazy. And I think, okay, so we're gonna do a little tiny bit more on the bangs because they're just a tad too long right there. But again, I'm going to be really careful and just point cut. Also, when they're dry, this is about as long as they're going to get. So you can kind of see. Again, I kind of like them longer. I don't really like them shorter than this, but if I change my mind, I can always go with shorter bangs. That's the nice thing about don't take off too much first. Okay, so now we're gonna put some product in here, and oh my goodness, I cannot reach anything I was prepared to reach on my desk here. That's too funny. It's right over here. And, oh yeah, here we go. And some paste. So I think it's a couple things. I love using these two products. Let's use this one first. This is just gives you some texture because this haircut has a lot of texture. And you just, I've done this before, you just lift and spray. Just, and that way, it'll give it a little volume. I let it like dry for a second. So we'll let it dry. And then this one, the hair paste, this is a medium hold. By the way, what is this brand? It's Versatility. That's what I used. Smells really fresh, smells really good. And then this one is when I'm ready to just do the finishing pieces at the end. So now that it feels like it's kind of dry, then I just kind of work it through like this. Okay, now we're going to use the paste and do the finishing. So I use very little, like this is, in fact, that's too much. Because again, I can always put more in. So, and then get it on your fingertips. And then I just kind of, I like to get the bottom so it lays nice and flat and just looks neat and doesn't stick out like dog ears. And then I don't do the bangs, but I just, again, gently go over this so flyaways don't stick straight out. And then I get the back. And then I'll show you the back too, because I haven't seen it with this in it yet. And again, when you have very thin, fine hair, you just tend to have, I'm going to put a tiny bit more in because just for the ends, so the ends stay a little heavy and stay down. Fine, thin hair tends to be very flyaway and go all over the place. Okay, now at the very end, when there's hardly anything left, then I just kind of go over the top and smooth it out a little bit, give it a little oomph from before, and then smooth it out again. Sometimes I'll just grab pieces like this just to get all the product through the pieces so it stays piecey, because I kind of like it when it looks more piecey. This is kind of sticking out too much, so we're again working the product through it. And I have to be careful because if I put too much product in it, then it just sticks against my head like glue, and that's not cute. I think I might be done. Okay, that's it. So let's look at it. Cover this up so it doesn't dry out. So here's the front, obviously, with the mirror so I can see the sides too. Let's see. Here's this side. Let's look at the back. Again, just want a little bit more piecey. Maybe not so much in my face, even though that's kind of okay. Okay, I don't mind that. That looks okay there, where I kind of went to town on point cutting. So there's that side. And there's the back on this side, which I don't really mind. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I think I did it. All right, so that was my at-home Pixie. Thanks for being here and putting up with the blow dryer. And leave a comment below what you think. I'm probably going to play with some hair colors, put a darker color in the back. Probably that's what I'll end up doing next, darker underneath. I don't mind this shade on top. And that's it. Okay, happy summer. See you on the next one.